Hey Sal, did the ratings even exist? Welcome back to Falk Entertainment, and today we're going to be looking at the IMDb highest rated Sopranos episodes. Of course, Sopranos had, I believe, was it 87 episodes? I might be wrong with that. I might be correct with that. I'm not too sure. It had a lot of episodes, right? So let's see what made the top 10. Now, of course, IMDb, it is just the jobbers that rate it. It's nothing, it's nothing meaningful. But as you can see, automatically 7,000 people have rated it, so it got a 9.3 out of 10. And this episode is season 6, episode 19, the second coming. This episode came out on the 20th of May 2007, over 16 years ago. Mental. Tony fails to reason with Phil as more problems increase with Anthony Jr. as his depression worsens. Is this the episode where he jumps in the swimming pool and he tries to kill himself? Because I tell you what, I just did not rate that episode, to be honest. But anyway, that's 10th place for you. Coming in is season 5, episode 5, Irregular, Around the Margins. A car crash puts Tony and Adriana in a compromising position. Cousin Tony tries to keep Chris from getting the wrong impression and the wrong information. I actually enjoyed this episode. Of course, what happens is there's a car crash. I mean, to be fair, Tony and Adriana, Tony does say to Chris, like, if I wanted it, I could have got it, and that must hurt. That probably hurts more than actually it happening. It's like Adriana was willing to do it, but Tony's the one that prevented himself. That probably hurt Chris a bit more, of course. Chris comes in to bada bing, tries to kill Tony. Well, gets hands on Tony at least, and then Tony, they take him out to the, I believe it was the Meadowlands, and then Tony spared them. But I think this was the straw that broke the camel's back, if we're being honest, with the Christopher and Tony relationship. Things never really were the same, but yeah, pretty good episode. I can see why it's up here. Moving in though to 8th place, we've got Whoever Did This. Ralph's callous behaviour finally steps over the line while Chris gets deeper into his heroin addiction and Uncle Junior's mental capacity begins to become in question. I enjoyed this episode. I kind of think it was a mistake killing Ralph, to be honest. I really think it was. I mean, I like animals. I'm a dog person. I've got nothing really against horses, but I mean, was it really worth it, Tony? Was it really worth it? But another 7.7 thousand people voted, and this was a 9.3. Will we get above a 9.3? I'm willing to bet we will. Moving in though to 7th place, still 9.3. We have got Whitecaps. Junior's trials come to an end, but Tony turns into an absolute disaster because this is when Carmela decides to call it a day on their marriage after finding out he slept with a one-legged Russian, damn it. And yeah, I think you've got really many complaints about that, Tony. I think that's a wee bit understandable there, big man. Moving in though to 6th place, number 9.3, we have got season 2, episode 12, The Knight in White Satin Armor. And of course, this episode is mainly around Richie and Tony. Looks like they are gonna butt heads, but then it eventually does come to an end, doesn't it? Because Janice steps in and saves Tony the hassle, and again, it's like we could have had something much better with Richie and Tony, but we got Janice, and I get it. The Soprano fanboys will be like, "Oh, but sometimes in life it just doesn't work out that way." But for me, it would have been so much better the other way around. I'm sorry, it just would have been. Up next in 5th place, we have got the season 2 finale. So IMDb's rating a few of the back end of season 2 episodes very highly. And of course, this episode is centered around Tony and his sickness. Tony and his sickness. And of course, the murder of Big Sal. R.I.P. This episode actually aired in 2001. Well, there you go. Up next, though, in 4th place, we have got Made in America. So we have got the series finale. Of course, Phil Leotardo was killed. Pretty much the only person left alive in Tony's crew, and not like ratting. By the looks of it, is Polly. Tony has a meal with his family. He confronts Junior one last time, and of course, we fade to black. I don't think it. Is 4th place high or is it low? I think it's probably a wee bit high. The episode's alright. There's a couple of really good moments in it, but I'm not a fan of the ending. I'm not. Like the door opening and he looks up, don't stop. And then what does it do? Stops. And it's one of those endings, like, and the fact that James Gandolfini died, we'll never really know what's happening. Like, we'll never actually know if it's going to change, or like, were they planning something, or was it always just going to be left to the imagination? We'll never know. But moving into our top three, we have got season 6, episode 20, The Blue Comet, and that sadly, Bobby is the man to go in this episode. Bobby, who rose up, I rise up. Fuck, I tell you what, look at the gap between the penultimate episode and the last episode. You had to wait like what, 4 months just to fucking see the final episode. That's mental. That is honestly mental. But yeah, Bobby, R.I.P. Moving in though to second place, we have got long-term parking. Of course, Adriana is murdered in this episode. Wait, is she? Actually, no, I don't think she's murdered. I think it's Tony B that's murdered in this episode. Um, or she might get killed in this. I'm not actually too sure. To be honest, it might be the way I flipped that around, but a good episode by 9.7 rating. Fuck me. And then number one, I haven't seen it yet. We recently just reviewed Pine Barrens, but I haven't seen it on this list yet, so I'm going to assume Pine Barrens is number one. Yep, it is. Is it the best episode of Sopranos? Well, according to IMDb, you guys have rated it. We just recently watched it. We gave it an 8.5. So in terms of the correlation there, it's 1.2 off the difference between IMDb and our rating. For me, it is one of the best episodes of Sopranos, but it's not like a story heavy. It's like it's as good as a filler episode can get in like TV. Like one of the best filler episodes because it doesn't really advance anything. It doesn't lead to anything. If anything, well, I guess you could say it leads to like Tony having a severe lack of trust in Polly. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. That's it for this video, and give me a hell yeah. Peace.